Now let's talk about the network and network devices. This will be the introduction to Network 101. Siyempre, kailangan natin malaman kung ano ba yung network, i-define natin yon, at ano ba yung mga network devices na kailangan natin para maintindihan natin paano nag-ooperate ang isang network. Okay, so let us define a network. A network basically is a collection of networking devices such as routers, switches, firewalls, hubs, concentrators, etc., wireless access points, napakarami ng mga networking devices, all collected or connected for data to be passed through from one end user to another end user. Okay? Ang trabaho natin mga network engineers is to create this infrastructure para magkaroon ng connection yung isang user to another and maipasa yung information from one device to another. Actually, nag-evolve na ngayon ang network. Hindi na lang naman talaga information ang pinapasa, kundi nagpo-provide na rin siya ng mga services. Like, for example, voice. If you are using voice over IP, nagpo-provide na rin siya ng gaming. Yan ang pinaka-popular ngayon. No? And data storage and many more. And hindi lang yan sa isang network such as this, which is a local network. Data can be passed through to a remote user through the internet. No? At alam naman natin ang internet is very popular in these times. Di katulad ng mga 1980s. Mga pagdating ng 1990s, it's gaining popularity. But nowadays, it's a common thing nowadays, the internet. Kaya yung information ay hindi na lang basta sa local or yung services hindi na lang basta sa local. Kung hindi, nakakarating na rin siya to other remote devices beyond the internet. So that's network. At tayo mga network engineers, yan ang ginagawa natin. Tayo ang nag-create ng infrastructure for that purpose. Sending of data and providing services for end users. Now, ito yung mga components naman ng network natin. Napakarami niyan. Basically, we have a switch here. So this is an example of a switch. Then we have routers. Ito yung mga routers natin. Of course, the firewall and yung mga servers and yung mga end users natin using PC. Pwede ang end user laptop, pwedeng tablet, pwedeng smartphone, smart devices. Pwede rin yung VoIP phones, no? And etc. Napakarami ng mga end devices. And ito naman yung mga networking devices natin such as the switch and the router. Now, ang network, paano natin nalalaman kung ano ba ang network dito sa figure na ito? And nakikita naman natin, pwede natin sabihin na ito ay isang malaking network. Well, yes, but kailangan nating specify specifically alin ba rito ang tinutukoy na network. So, identify natin ano yung mga network. This is one network. This is counted as one network. Yan. Isang network yan ha. Tatandaan po natin yan. Ito ay isang network din. This is also one network. Okay. This is another network. Yan. This is also another network. And another network. And this will belong to a very huge network, especially the internet. It contains hundreds of millions of networks. It's sa internet. Pero kung ang pagtutuunan lang natin ng pansin ay yung tinatawag natin na LAN, it's the local area network. Pag sinabi kasi nating local area, mali pa yung spelling ko. Okay? So, local area network. When you say local, ang pinagtutuunan ng pansin nito ay yung close proximity of the devices. Okay? Yan tinatawag natin na local area network. Okay? Now, pag sinabi nating network, ang pinakamagandang analogy for a network is a street. Kasi alam naman natin na ang network parang, parang may address din kasi yan, yung network. At pag sinabi mong may address ka, meron kang particular street on that address. Tama? at sa address mo, doon sa street ninyo, may mga magkakapit-bahay. Kayo yung mga magkakapit-bahay dyan. At yung mga magkakapit-bahay belongs to one street. Kaya tatandaan po natin na when we talk about network, we also talk about the street. Alright? Ang network, this is one particular network. Na ito isang particular network, another network, another network, and another network, and so many networks on this internet. Now, if one device, for example, say PC1, wants to go to, say, server 2, which is on a different network, paano makakarating yung data from PC1 to server 2? Magkaiba sila ng network. Ang maghahatid ng data from PC1 to server 2 will be our server. Okay, I mean router. Okay, so the router will be the one that will forward the data based on the IP address. So tandaan po natin ang router, anong trabaho ng router? Ang router will forward the data based on what? It will be based on the IP network address. Okay? Ito yung isa sa pinaka-importante dyan. Yung router will make decisions kung paano makakarating yung data coming from PC1 to say server 2 based on the IP network address. And take note na ang routers are what we call layer 3 devices. Okay? Patandaan po yan Napaka-importante niyan. Now, puntahan natin si layer 3 device. Ano ba ibig sabihin ng layer 3 device? Now, sa networking, tatandaan natin na meron tayong ginagamit na hierarchy. The hierarchy will determine kung ano yung function ng mga devices natin. Kung sinabi natin na layer 3, this will be at this point. This is the layer 3. At ang layer 3 na yan, nandito yung mga routers natin. So, ang routers, tatandaan natin, layer 3, this is what we call a hierarchy of functionality, stack, okay? S-T-A-C-K, stack of functionality. And it depends on the layer kung paano siya nagde-decide on how to get to a particular device. Okay? Of course, this is layer 1, and this is layer 2, layer 3, and layer 4. Mamaya di-discuss natin about the OSI layers, and may kinalaman siya dyan. So, take note that layer 3, routers operates on the layer 3. Okay, so tatandaan po natin yan. At ang routers will forward data based on the IP data networks. Alright, so that is for the routers. Now, let's talk about the switch. Ang switch naman, ganito. Ang switch, kung mapapansin nyo, PC1 and PC2, both are connected to switch 1 and switch 2 respectively. And they belong to the same network. Parehong network yan correct? Nasa isang network lang sila. Ibig sabihin, PC1 and PC2 actually are neighbors. Nasa isang network lang sila, nasa isang street lang sila. Paano kung makikipag-communicate si PC1 kay PC2? PC1 will just forward the frame to switch 1, and then ang tanong, paano i-forward ni PC1 yung frame papunta naman kay PC2? Switch 1 will go directly to PC2 para i-forward yung frame. Ganon lang sila mag-usap. Bakit ganon sila mag-usap? Bakit hindi na na-involve si router? That is because they are neighbors. Nasa isang street lang sila. Bakit pa nila pararatingin kay router? Si router, ang ginagawa niya, pino-forward niya yung data kung kayo ay nasa magkaibang network. In the case of kaninang diniscuss natin, PC1 going to server 2. But since you are neighbors, hindi na kailangan i-involve si router doon. So it will go straight to PC2. Okay? And take note na ang switch, kanina, sabi natin, ang router ay anong layer? Router operates on layer 3. Now take note that the switch operates on layer 2. Okay? So tandaan po natin yan. So that is below the layer 3, of course. Layer 2, below layer 3. So nag-ooperate siya on layer 2. Yan. So this is layer 2. At dito naman nag-ooperate si switch. And take note, kung kanina sa router, ano yung pinagbabasihan ni router para ma-forward niya yung data? The forwarding of data, if we use the router, it will decide on depends on the IP network address. That's layer 3, which router or where router operates. But for switch, sa layer 2 siya nag-ooperate. So kung sa layer 2 siya nag-ooperate, hindi na IP network address ang pinag-uusapan. Kung hindi, yung MAC address naman. Yan, MAC address. Now take note, ang MAC stands for Media Access Control or simply the MAC address. And take note, ang MAC address or ang Media Access Control address is sometimes referred to as the physical address. And sometimes this is also called the layer 2 address. Tandaan po natin yan while yung router, sabi natin, nagpo-forward siya based on the IP network address. Sometimes the IP network address is simply called network address or tinatawag din natin minsan na IP address or sometimes we call it the logical address. Yan yung mga iba't ibang tawag dyan para kung sakali man na gamitin ng kung sino man ang gustong gumamit interchangeably, hindi tayo malilito. This is for the network or the IP network address, and this is for the MAC address which operates on layer 2. So tatandaan po natin yan pagka layer 3 router ang pinag-uusapan at ang pinag-uusapan dyan is the IP network address. Pagka layer 2 naman, pinag-uusapan naman natin basically is a switch. A switch is a layer 2 device. And nagfo-forward ang switch basing on the MAC address. Okay, so ibig sabihin kapag nag-usap si PC1 and PC2, si PC1 or si switch will forward the frame coming from PC1 based on the MAC address kung saan siya pupunta. So kung alam ni PC1 yung MAC address ni PC2, it will be forwarded to PC2 based on its MAC address. Okay, so tatandaan po natin yan. So that's layer 3 which operates or which uses or where router operates, and layer 2 where switches operates. And take note of the addresses that they use whenever they communicate with each other. Now, anong tawag mo doon sa device naman? Kasi meron tayong device. Nag-ooperate, switch So, pag sinabing switch, layer 2. Pero meron siyang capability ng routing. So, kung itong switch na to has capability of routing, therefore, it also operates on layer 3. This device is called what? Ang tawag natin dyan is a multi-layer switch. Okay? Intuitive naman siya, Intuitive naman yung kanyang pangalan kasi kung siya ay switch, of course, that is layer 2. At kung siya naman ay router, operates on layer 3. So, pwede natin sabihin that this is a multi-layer switch. Okay? O kaya, switch and router, swouter. Pero usually, ang tawag sa kanya talaga is a multi-layer switch. Okay? So, yan yung isa sa pinaka madalas na ginagamit natin ng mga terminology sa network. Okay? So, tatandaan po natin na ang network, pinagbabasihan niya, nalaman natin kung paano na-identify yung network. Ulitin lang natin, this is counted as one network. This is also counted as another network. Ito ay isang network ulit. Ito ay isang network ulit. Another network. And another network. Ito, napakalaking network nito. And kung mapapansin ninyo, ang sabi natin kanina, tatandaan lang natin parate, ang network ay isang neighborhood. Ibig sabihin, isang street yan. So, ibig sabihin ko, nasa isang street ka, nasa isang network ka lang. At ang address, syempre, may street. Magagamit natin ito ng gusto, itong analogy na ito, pagdating natin sa IP addressing. So, I hope nakatulong sa inyo ito, para malinawan ng kaunti yung mga bagay na medyo gumugulo sa inyo when it comes to networks and identifying networks and of course the devices that we use in networks. Okay? Pero syempre hindi pa to natatapos. Meron pa itong kasunod. And further, maunawaan natin kung ano yung mga functionality ng iba pang mga devices sa network natin. Okay? So, sana nakatulong sa inyo to, and I hope this will gear you up towards the CCNA Bootcamp training. I'm Engineer Melvin Arceo, and I will see you next time.